Hello everybody, and welcome to episode 26 of Let's Play Republic the Revolution. As we left off in the last episode, our movement is falling apart in slow motion. Various factors have contributed to our wholesale disintegration. As you can see, the latest statistics are in, and we have completely collapsed. The anarchists and the cartel have both overtaken us, not because they've grown in strength, but we've grown oh so much weaker. We reached the peak of our power, and now we're going to suffer. We're falling onto our last legs. We're desperate, we're falling apart. We need to keep organizing strike actions, we need to keep fighting back, we need to go out fighting if we're going to go out. And there's no other goddamn choice. We are going to go to war with the organized anarchy movement. We are going to tear them a new one, we're going to bring them back down from their steeple. They're going to learn a very, very, very valuable lesson from us. And if they can't understand this lesson, they will learn to regret their actions. We're already organizing further physical assaults. We're going to beat the crap out of them if we have to, because there's no other choice. We need victory. We need triumph.
Яка лавартаза è molto vanampresa. Я
Now we've managed to even bring some tanks to this occasion. 2 T-72 tanks, it appears, to show people the might of the army and just how good it would be for them to join it. And although our resolve is collapsing, although we're losing ground, although all appears to be going back badly for us, we cannot allow ourselves to be defeated. If we were defeated, the NPRM was defeated. Novi Strana would collapse and would become hell on earth. We've come too far to allow ourselves to be vanquished. And we certainly aren't going to allow ourselves to lose. This city is ours, and it shall remain ours for as long as we fight, and for as long as we resist. And if we don't fight, if we don't resist, all will truly and utterly be lost. I don't give a damn about our reputation anymore. We need simply to gain ground, to gain members, to do all that we can in the name of a victory. If this can't be done, then I'll be left feeling very, very dismayed. So we're going to start organizing army drafts, encouraging the people to sign up and enlist. Anything to show their support, to show the strength of the NPRM. Because we have gained so much, and I am not ready to lose it. I'm not ready to yield, and I will not yield. I amn't afraid to go down fighting. And if that's what's going to happen, let it happen. We must fight, and we must triumph. And when our righteous triumph is achieved, we shall be able to celebrate. But until then, we must fight, and fight some more. Because our future is at risk. And if there's one thing that I'm not ready to yield, that I'm not ready to surrender, it's the future of the movement. If all else fails, I'll try recruiting Mr. Kalinov. He would probably do a good job. Although that's not for me to judge. What is for me to judge is the fact that our movement is slipping away. We're losing our power, we're losing our might. And we can't allow this to continue. We can't allow ourselves to be undermined like this. We need to keep the faith, we need to strengthen the faith. We need to speak in the name of the people, and act in the name of the people. I'll organize a few cover-up operations while I'm at it, to make sure that these actions will not be discovered. What's quite obvious, however, is the fact that we've been forced out of Natanson Town and Potemkin Plaza. We are being forced out of these districts, we're losing our ground, we're starting to fail. And that's one word that I don't like saying, and that I never want to say. We're fighting tooth and nail to regain what's rightfully ours. But I have no idea whether we'll be able to keep it. Meanwhile, Mr. Nikanor Karpin, who previously refused to join our movement, has instead thrown in his lot with the Red Mafia. I'm sure that he regrets that now. Let's see Churniev doing his job. Giving this anarchist scumbag a taste of his own medicine. Because if there's one way to win, it's through playing dirty. I learned that from my rivals, and now I'm going to show that lesson off. Threatening, belittling, and attacking the anarchists. Isn't there anything else better than this? Oh, here we go, there we go! You can do this, Churniev! Show him how a man fights! Beat that anarchist into a pulp for what he's done to us. There we go, beating him unconscious. That's what motherfuckers get. If you try to mess with the NPRM again, you won't be waking up! You can call our activities criminal, but you can't call them uncalled for. They were asking for it, and they're still asking for it. It's sad, but it's true. I'm just wondering how I can raise resolve besides these favouring actions, since it's hurting me quite badly indeed. Anyhow. We've got to continue breaking down the anarchists. Starting with Mr. Gennady Ermalov, and then eventually even going on to their leader, Andrei Atlasov. We'll give him a good old trashing as well. Now I hope that Churniev enjoys beating up these anarchist pansies. If he doesn't, then that's a pity. It really is. Now we'll see how this favor action works out. Or perhaps I should leave it to itself. We'll see how it comes out anyway. I'm afraid though, so I think I'll leave it. If it goes wrong, I do not want to be responsible. I'm already responsible for far too much. We're scrambling to retake our old ground right now. We're being pushed back into our stronghold, and even there the anarchists are gaining quite the footing. They're moving on into the town centre, and I regret challenging them the way I did. And this, for the simple reason alright, the action failed, the resolve of my movement has hit an all-time low, and isn't that just marvellous? Absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to organize some more strikes. We're going down in our blaze of glory, causing as much chaos as possible, as quickly as possible, as decisively as possible. Because if anything, we are under a very fierce attack. So the anarchists are, ironically enough, considering going to the courts of law to prosecute us. That won't do them any good. They should know it by now, but they don't. How about we throw ourselves into some area with mafia influence? Unfortunately, the mafia's influence nowadays is so minimal that I can't even do anything. I'd be tempted to use them as a weapon against the anarchists, but I'm not even sure whether that could work or not. All things concerned, we are failing, we are falling back, we are left reeling. And this is the unfortunate reality of the current situation. We've got to win over these areas. We've got to make sure that they remain ours and that we can retake the ground that we've lost. Particularly here, in this area, since this is the only part of the city that we've actually lost, having previously had it. The anarchists are firmly in control of the bank, adding even more to this irony. And to top it all off, it seems as though they are using more legal methods than we are. This really is ridiculous. So I'm going to attack the cartel in Pugachev Central. I'm going to continue my campaign, and I'm going to make sure that it does what it's meant to do. That we can lash out against our enemies without repercussions, that we can march on to a most beautiful and glorious victory. and it has to be a glorious victory. Anything else would be a crime, a sin. Meanwhile, we've carried out another threatening action. We've broken the spirit of Mr. Erlamov, or Ermalov. And so as the latest statistics come in, the anarchists themselves are falling apart, and it's the Constantino cartel that has gained the decisive lead. Nonetheless, we have temporarily suspended our own collapse, and I'm very glad about it. Now all we have to do is break down the cartel. The anarchists are falling apart, and now it's the cartel's turn. We've faced off this assault, and hopefully we can continue to face off against them. Churniev's resolve is unfortunately continuing to decline, so I think I'll leave him a day or two without any work and see if it improves. If it doesn't, then that's fair enough. We'll have to make do with the way things are. Anyhow, the anarchists are once again reeling. They're falling apart, and I'm very glad to say that. The people are assembling. The strikes are beginning. Our desperate actions and counteractions are actually proving quite beneficial. Hopefully there'll be enough to save our position in this city. In the meantime, I'm going to scout the Buran Gardens and see if there's anything dangerous going on over there. Hopefully there won't be, so we should be able to launch some kind of expedition into the area and retake it from the cartel. Now, Comrade Ikramov has ranked up once more. We should strengthen his stats. For example, his Union Strike action, since that one appears to be quite useful. It gained us control over the Brezhovskaya towers anyway, and that's a very good thing. And we're going to gain even more working class districts quite soon. Everything's going to plan. We can cancel a few other actions. We can temporarily rest assured, because things are not as bad as they seem. Sure, our points may be low, and of course we're still under threat, but we're no longer grappling for survival. That in itself is a very good sign. Or at least I believe so, anyway. So Laika Common continues to be a hotbed of anarchist activity. It's the one place where they continue to dare to challenge us, because other than that they are falling behind, and I'm on my way to overtaking them. So we've gained some information now, and it seems like the cartel has a very big stronghold in the Mir estate. On the other hand, the Alexandrovsk Park is quite vulnerable to our activities, and so I'm going to send Comrade Ikramov right in there to organize a strike. A strike against our foes. Let's hope it succeeds. So, continued criticism about the fact that we beat Mr. Ermalov senseless. Although people forget the fact that it had to be done. That this was a more than necessary action.
Да, мадам, dormi.
You know we had to do it to him. And that's what we did. We broke his resolve, we broke his spirit, and now this allows us to continue onwards in a fresh campaign. Hopefully this campaign shall lead to success. Although I can't be sure of that just yet. We're going to do our utmost to come out on top though. Mark my words. We're going to go out and speak the truth. We're going to show the people exactly what has to be done and the way that it has to be done. We're regaining our territory, regaining our turf. We must, however, begin our action against the anarchists. They have now become our main enemy once more in Like a Common. And so I shall provide a revelation about their activities. One that will expose quite clearly just how sinister they are in their agenda. Because there's no doubt about it, they are a force for evil. We're currently too low on points to launch any widespread offensive. This is unfortunate, but must be recognized. Well, actually, I spoke too soon. We're about to gain a very good opportunity right here to strike back against the cartel. And that's what we're going to do. We're going right into the Mir estate and we're going to take it from them. We're going to pry it out of their filthy, money-grubbing hands. We're going to retake our dominant position. And nobody is going to stop us here. This is our town, and so it shall remain. We will throw out the enemies of our movement, and throw out the enemies of the people. For they have been, and continue to be, a threat to all that is good about our movement, and all that we could achieve. Now we really need to retake the Grand Hotel, because that would be the key to our gaining extra influence points. At the same time, we need to move in against our enemies and to hurt them very badly in their own heartlands. We need to beat them at their own game, beat them exactly where it hurts them. And when I mean beat them, I mean that in both the physical and metaphorical sense of that word. So I'm going to throw myself into Pushkin Park, and I'm going to strike against the anarchists. I'm going to hurt them, I am going to vanquish them. Because for now, I am going to hold out. There's a chance that I'll lose, but there's also a chance that I'll win. And I'm grasping on desperately to a chance that I'll win. Hopefully we'll see some more victories in the very next episode. Until then, I hope that you've enjoyed this episode and the rest of the series. If you do, please do not forget to leave a like and a comment and to subscribe to my channel to show your support of my videos and the Novi Stranen Revolution. I have been the Nerd Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye for today.